Hello. Welcome to our first evening education connection of the 2023-2024 school year. And I want to welcome Sunny Mullen from Help Hope Live, who's here with us this evening. And I'm just going to pass it on over to you.
Sure. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. My name is Sunny Mullen. I am the Director of Outreach with Help Hope Live, and I'm really happy to talk to you tonight. We are a national nonprofit, but we are based right in your backyard. We're based in Radnor. I am a Philadelphian. I am very happy to be speaking to our Philadelphia families, and we have been really happy to be working with HMS these last couple of years. So looking forward to continue this relationship. So to get started, as I said, we are Help Hope Live. We are a national nonprofit, and it is our mission at Help Hope Live to support community-based fundraising for people with unmet medical expenses and related costs due to cell and organ transplants, catastrophic injuries, and catastrophic illnesses. And what we do is quite literally in our name. We help ease the financial burden of a medical crisis. We provide hope at a time of overwhelming need, and we support patients and individuals to live their lives as fully as possible, whatever that looks like to them. So we are happy to report that last weekend, the end of September in 2023, we just celebrated our 40th anniversary in operation as a nonprofit. And so in those 40 years, we have been very proud to help our community raise well over $172 million toward their medical expenses and related costs. And today we are assisting more conditions than ever before. I can truly say we are assisting, like we say here, cerebral palsy, muscular dystrophy, spinal cord injury, traumatic brain injury, cancer, COVID, diabetes, autism, you name it, we're here to help. We understand that all of these conditions and injuries come with their own lifelong medical expenses. So we're here to help you fundraise toward them. And how do we do that? How are we helping you fundraise? And why would you come work with Help Hope Live? We set you up with a campaign page on our website and a one-on-one client services coordinator that gives you all the tools and support to go out and be successful in your community. Then the funds come back to Help Hope Live and our Help Hope Live assets. So they should not affect the individual's asset-based benefits or become taxable income to the family. Once you've done your fundraising, funds are back here with Help Hope Live. You then submit your bills to us and we help pay those bills directly to the vendor. And we're here for the lifetime of the individual, continuously helping you fundraise toward anything they might need related to their condition. So truly our advantage is that personal support you will get with a client services coordinator that's here to help you create materials and flyers, and our finance team that's here to help you pay your bills. The fact that we are a nonprofit, so any donations coming in honor of your loved one are tax deductible to your community. You're also eligible to maximize your fundraising efforts by receiving grants and donations from corporations or matching gifts, whereas they can't normally donate to individuals. They can donate to a nonprofit. And because of the way that we function, we safeguard your loved one and by safeguarding their benefits and your taxes and your income, which is really important and can really get pretty messed up with some other platforms, to be very honest. We have had clients come to us after losing benefits, after using another platform like GoFundMe, depending on where those funds go and what bank account they go into, it can count as income, which can get really tricky. Another point that we're really proud of is we work with medical professionals all over the country, just like your professionals at HMS, to verify the campaigns. So we are medically verifying each and every individual we work with, saying that yes, they have the medical condition they claim to have, and that they actually have the medical expenses that they say that they need to fundraise toward. Just another level of safeguard that we're here to do for the individual and their entire community. And so our custom campaign pages, this is where you come to post your stories, to post your pictures, videos. Your community can come and share their words of support and make donations. You can put information about your fundraisers right on your campaign page. This is easily shareable through email or social media. This is your hub of fundraising with Help Hope Live. And What else are the client services coordinators helping you with? As I said, so many different types of fundraising assistance. Flyers, certainly, press releases, social media campaigns, fundraising packets, outreach to different businesses. These are just some examples of what we do for and with our clients each and every day. Business cards are a big one. We started doing these in the last couple of years, which are really great. And we can provide our clients with a business card with the QR code that leads directly to your campaign page. So you never know when you're out and about in your everyday life, and you might spark up a conversation related to your loved one. And maybe then the person next to you wants to learn more or even donate. They can go right to the campaign page and donate right there, and then hopefully share it even more. So just one more way that we're here to help maximize your fundraising efforts. And a question we get quite often is, well, what types of fundraisers should I do? And I will say, I know we're here in the Philadelphia region, but we are national. Fundraising looks very different to everyone in every region of the country. So it's truly, there's nothing too big or too small, I will say. Anything from spaghetti dinners or beef and beers here, silent auctions, benefit concerts, different types of jewelry sales, crafting sales, custom materials, percentage of sales nights at your favorite restaurants. So many chain restaurants allow you to do percentage of sales nights. It's in their bylaws. They do it for nonprofits all the time. And it's a pretty simple way to get your fundraising started. And these are examples of some flyers that our coordinators have created in honor of our clients, and different ways of being creative. One of my favorite is the flyer all the way to the left. If you look a little closer, the fundraiser is simply donate your shoe size times 2 or more. So just creating an idea out of the simplest idea can really just pique people's interests. I will say we've had very successful golf outings. We've had very successful yard sales. So never diminish an idea or what your community might be interested in, or what might actually bring out your friends and family. We can turn almost anything into a fundraiser at this point. Even virtual fundraisers. This is still big in our community, different types of photo contests or trivia nights, gaming. If any of your family members are gamers, the gaming community is extremely philanthropic. And that's a great way to access a different way of fundraising in your community. So this is what our coordinators are here to do. They're here to help you discover who your community is and what their interests are and what your interests are, and then maximize that to make you successful as much as possible. So once we've set you up for all that success and the funds have come in and you're ready to submit your bills, you download this fund request form. It's right on your campaign page, easily downloadable. You can fill this out, scan in your bill, scan in this form, and email it right to our finance team. We make this as easy as possible for everyone involved. Our finance team is ready to then process and pay the bills within 5 to 8 business days of receiving all of the necessary paperwork. We prefer to pay direct to vendor as much as possible so that the individuals don't need to pay out their own funds up front. We can reimburse when needed. And we do offer either the individuals or vendors direct deposit to make the payment go a little quicker. And our finance team is working on these day in and day out. I know this says over 4,500. I really think this year might be over 5,000 fund requests. This is the bread and butter of what we do. We're here to help pay our clients' bills. And what are those bills? What are we helping our clients even fundraise toward? So truly anything related to the condition to the injury. Everything from different types of equipment, wheelchairs, modified vehicles, home modifications, standing frames, exoskeletons. Really big for pediatrics right now are Trexo robotic skeletons, which are really great. And we've helped a couple of our clients fundraise toward. Different types of therapies, different types of care, from even if you have a paid care attendant, we can help pay toward their hours, insurance, medications, service animals, travel. If you need to travel with your loved one for medical reasons, if they maybe seek a specialist out of state once a year, you need to fundraise toward those hospital expenses and maybe the medical mileage rate. We can help you fundraise toward the parking fees at doctor's appointments or at hospital appointments. and even different types of quality of life. I know I mentioned a little earlier that an HMS student is receiving a bike. We've helped a couple HMS students with bike donations, but we can also help you fundraise toward adaptive bicycles. Of all the things, let kids be kids. So adaptive bicycles, assistive technology, different types of rehab, so many different things that we can help you fundraise for safely and responsibly, and help your loved one really enjoy what they want to do and the different activities that the family goes out on. So we're here to help with all of this. I will say that if there is ever a question on an expense, if it's something we maybe haven't seen before or we're not too familiar, we may ask you to go back to a PT or your physician for a note of necessity, just letting us know why you're submitting this particular expense. For the most part, if we can justify that it is related to the condition or injury, we will absolutely help you fundraise toward it and help you pay toward it. With all of that, we are here to help pay and fundraise toward all of those bills, but we're also here to help the whole person. So we do offer pretty extensive resource guides as well. If there's ever a question we can't answer, we will turn toward our resource guides, or we will turn toward some of our trusted resource partners like the Reeve Foundation or United Spinal Association, or different organizations that might be able to answer a question better than we can. So just know we're always looking out for the best interest of the individual and trying to get as much information as possible for them. And one other thing that we do for all of our clients is that we offer a fundraising video appeal to all of our clients within the first month or two of them joining us, where this will gather any pictures you offer, and we gather the pictures, and it is narrated by our executive director, and it's an ask for donations directly from us in your honor. So it's a passive way for you to start your fundraising. You can email this, put it on social media, while maybe you're thinking about your first fundraiser. So this is just one way that we can help you kickstart your fundraising efforts. With all of that said, all of our services are free of charge to our families and their loved ones. We do have a 3% administration fee on all of the donations that come in honor of the individual, in addition to a 2.65 credit card fee if they're donating online. But our donors can cover those fees if they choose to, and a lot of our donors do end up doing that. And again, all of the materials and resources that we're here to offer are free to the individuals. So we're here to try to maximize these donations as much as possible and make sure that we're helping you fundraise toward your expenses. And with all of that, getting started is very simple. You simply contact us, whether it's on our website with that Get Started button, fill out some information, and then you will receive a phone call from a client services coordinator, or just call our 800 number and speak to a coordinator right away. And then they'll send you the welcome packet. In that welcome packet, it has all of our information. It has our terms of service for you to sign off on, has the medical verification form, which is a very simple one-sheet form that can go out to your specialist, your PT, your OT. And once we receive all of this information back, you're starting to complete your campaign page and you're planning your first fundraiser. So honestly, this process can take 24, 48 hours. It's really just about getting the information back and getting started. The quicker we can get you started, the quicker we can get you toward your expenses. I will also say that once you start a campaign with us, and whether it's the parent or the power of attorney or the guardian that starts the campaign in honor of the individual, you can give us permission then to work with whomever. Maybe you have a friend or a family member that wants to spearhead your campaign for you and take some of that load off of you and your family. That's absolutely okay, as long as you give us permission, because we will only work with individuals that the family and the client allow us to. But we're here to make the process easier and to not make it feel like this process is a burden to you and your family. But all in all, Help Hope Live, we are truly here to help. We have been here for 40 years assisting the community, and we are just happy to have been getting to know HMS and your community through the last couple of years. And however we can continue to work together, we are here to do that. So if anyone has any questions, my email is right here. So anyone is more than welcome to reach out to me directly. Or like I said, just simply call our 800 number and speak to one of our coordinators. We're open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can almost always get someone on the phone. So thank you guys so much for your time today and for listening and watching. And we hope to start helping you guys. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Sunny.
So out of
Absolutely.
curiosity, what kind of things have you helped HMS families with so far?
Mainly, I will say off the top of my head, I will say mainly the bikes is the biggest thing that we've been helping the families with. It's a relatively new program that we've been working with the Flyers Alumni Association on over the last 2 years or so. And so we've been helping a lot of assistive bikes get into the community. But now we're starting to build more with your community as well, and hopefully being able to help you with therapy sessions or service animals, or if your family needs a new van or home modifications, we can help toward all of that.
Very cool. I love the concept. The thing that has always scared me about doing, GoFundMe or something like that is the things you talked about, fundraising, interfering with, public benefits,
Yeah.
or impacting taxes, and you've figured out a great way around it. What do you do for families that are, let's say, not always comfortable about going out and fundraising like that? Is it, are there ways around that, or?
We can, so that's where I always encourage everyone to just simply have the conversation with a coordinator and see how we can help and what communities there are around you. And you might not even realize what types of communities you're involved with. And I will say you can also make your campaign page public or private. So you can still do your fundraising and maybe not have your campaign page searchable to the public, or have someone be able to find who you are, but still be able to share your link with your loved ones, or and make it more on your terms. It's really just a good conversation to have with a coordinator before you completely say, I'll never do that. It's we're really here to help, and they have those conversations every single day with people that are very hesitant to get their story out there. As long as the client has a little bit of motivation to want to do fundraising, we can truly help them get from A to B and then really continue throughout their lifetime.
And then I guess you look at somebody who has cerebral palsy and all the related expenses that can be incurred with that, as like the HMS students graduate and become adults, I envision there being more pushback from Medicare and folks like that when it comes to paying for some of the equipment that's needed. Do you necessarily have to fundraise for a specific piece of equipment, or can you have I'll call it almost like a fundraising account, and then as those pieces of equipment are needed, you're able to dip into that to pay for it? Or
that is exactly it. You completely understand how we work right there. And then I really encourage people to start their campaigns as early as possible, whether you think you have a need or not. You don't need to come to us saying, I need a van tomorrow. We'd rather you start fundraising and then have the funds available once you actually need that van. The fact that you have a diagnosis or an injury qualifies you to work with us. And then from there, we work with you. I will also say, I want people to start with us as early as possible, because we can do a 3-month look back. Once we get that medical verification, we can do a 3-month look back on any bills once you've raised some funds. So if you were to start fundraising today, we can go 3 months back and you could submit any bills maybe for reimbursement, or even if you have an outstanding hospital bill from last month and there are funds available, we can help. So that's where I say, get started with us, so that you're not thinking to just like, oh, well, let me save these bills and then I'll get funds eventually. No, you get started with us as early as possible. We can get you started, and we're here for the lifetime of the individual. So the campaign is open as long as you're active with us. And you can use them and submit. We have people that submit fund requests every single week because they're buying durable medical equipment. They're buying durable goods that they need, gloves and wipes and things they need for home. And there are expenses every single week, as you very well know, to taking care of an individual with these diagnoses. So
I noticed on the one page where you were talking about some of the things that you've paid for in the past, you showed somebody out at one of the surfing events I've seen.
yeah.
You pay for the expenses associated with getting the person there, or does that be more specific than that? I'm trying to figure out how that looks.
No, that's fine. So that would probably be more so like the equivalent of like a conference or a special event. So we might help you fundraise toward if there's a registration fee for that. But even if it's if sometimes we might ask, and your PT could probably write a letter saying that that's therapeutic and verify the need for even doing that event. And we could help you maybe toward the registration. And then depending on some of the costs. But there are a lot of one-offs, I will say. That's why it's nearly impossible for us to have a comprehensive list of expenses that are covered. I will always say, have the conversation with a coordinator before just assuming we don't cover something. Because we do also have a grants committee on our board. We get things that, all the time that we've never seen before and can approve, which helps the greater good of our community to just ask the question.
Okay, just a couple more questions, if I may.
Sure, please.
Do you have to fundraise for a specific individual, or could you fundraise for family? Because I have twins that have multiple disabilities, and my wife has MS.
Mhm.
So, individually, from time to time, there are expenses, but collectively, there's always something.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering.
We definitely have had individuals and especially family members, usually when they have the same diagnoses, because I will say that how we manage the funds is that they are held in regionally restricted funds and then by diagnosis. And so it usually is when they have the same diagnosis. But if they're in the same household, we most likely, and if you guys would be doing your fundraising together anyway, and the expenses would all be pretty similar, we would most likely be able to work around that. And that would absolutely be a conversation you could have. I would say where it might get a little hinky is if like one was a transplant client and one was a cerebral palsy client and their expenses were very different. But I think we could probably work with that situation. So always worth the conversation though.
Absolutely. And then the last thing would be, do you work with any community groups as far as fundraising related to a community group?
Not as much. I will say we do have what we call compassion funds, where we work with different types of vendors or employers that want to do fundraising on behalf of their employees possibly, or fundraise toward certain vendors will help fundraise toward maybe a piece of equipment, and we can help their customers pay toward that piece of equipment. And we have certain memorial funds. Community groups, it depends. If they're a nonprofit, not as much because they already have their nonprofit status. But if it is a community group, we are doing more of these compassion funds, and each one is a little different. So if you have something in mind, I'm more than happy to have a conversation with you about that.
All right. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of
Very
course.
good information. I will definitely keep that in the back of my mind as my kids start transitioning. I expect to see some expenses that are beyond what I'm accustomed to.
Yeah,
now.
and that is, I know I have a younger brother that lives with the rare disorder. He's almost 28. And so I remember going through that aging out process, and it is a scary process. So anything you can put in place before that happens is well advised.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll be giving you guys a call tomorrow.
There you go. Yeah. I don't want to frighten you too much by any means, but just trying to help make it a little bit of easier of a transition.
All they got to do is talk to some of the HMS alumni parents.
Sure.
Enough to what's the word I'm looking for? Sober me up a little bit about coming at me.
But that's what the community's for, right? It's great when you can honestly share with each other.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, great presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us, Sunny, and we will be sending this out to families tomorrow. And I suspect that you will be hearing from members of our community
Wonderful.
very soon.
Thank you so much.
thank you so much.
Absolutely. We are
Um,
here
have-
to help however frequently you need it.
Awesome. Have a great night, everyone.
Night,
Have a great
guys.
night. Thank you, Sunny.
You're welcome. You're
Thank you
welcome.
so much.
Of course.